going on, Aztec Nation? This is another episode of the Sons of Montezuma Podcast. We want to let you guys know we're having a special right now in the shop. As you can see, we got a lot of different items in here from sonsofmontezuma.com clothing. We got make sure that we do our NIL gear and all that stuff. So take a little closer look. Take a little closer look over here, guys. Want to make sure you guys are saving from shorts. We got different t-shirts. Of course, we got our NIL deals. I even got an old school one back here of Mr. Jesse Matthews. You guys get your hands on that one. Guys, it's a bye week. It's homecoming. We're about to get crazy in here. I got K5 James ready to go. We'll see you guys in a second.
To him. Can he get the edge? Gonna try it. He's got it. Record time. Donnell Pumphrey smashes the record. On the return, it's Rashad Penny. And Penny finds the seam. Penny to the outside. Penny will go the distance.
First and goal. Fake to Penny. Open man. Wells. He leads. He gets the ball. And they say touchdown.
Yippee-ki-yay. Let's go. Let's go. What's going on, everybody? This is the Sons of Montezuma Podcast. I'm ready, man. What's going on? It's James, K5 James is in the house, man. It's good to see you. How are you doing?
Good, man. I like the way that cowboy hat turned out, dude. You spent enough time at that. What are you, a vampire cowboy, bro? Is that the costume for the Saturday?
Maybe. You have to break out all the stops. You have to break out all the stops for homecoming, dude. We have to do it.
Oh man, yeah. I almost broke out mine, but I don't want to do it quite yet. I want it to be a surprise.
Can't wait to see it. Can't wait. Anyways, thank you guys for joining us. We see you guys in the chat already. What's going on, Maria? What's going on, Jesse? Thank you guys for joining. It's a new episode. It's coming off the bye week, and it's homecoming. So I'm feeling a little funny, man. Anytime it's homecoming, like a throwback. I got this old school 1970s Aztec shirt over here, the little patch. I don't know if you can check that out, man. I had to steal it out of my dad's closet, you know.
Yeah, that's real old school, legit old school, man.
All right. I don't know if I'll leave the hat on, man. After beating Wyoming second in a row, got me feeling kind of good, man. I'm glad I got this hat out there in Wyoming and Laramie. That was a good trip. But as I said in the opener, guys, save 10% off on the shop. Make sure you guys check out some of these clothes I got behind me, man. Got to get rid of the inventory back here. Got to get some new ones in there.
You spent enough time in that hat store shopping for that thing, man. You better start wearing that thing.
I got to find any excuse. Anyways, James, how are you doing, man? It's a bye week. So, couple things to talk about. I'm excited for this game, though, man. 2 victories in a row. Things started looking rather bleak to start the season. And now, I mean, feeling a little bit of momentum, right? A little bit of momentum coming into this game with Washington State, the Cougars coming to town.
Definitely, man. I watched a little bit of that game on Saturday, Washington State and Hawaii. The thing about Washington State, their offense is impressive, man. It's pretty much where we want our offense to be eventually. But their defense, they've got some things we can take advantage of on defense as long as our offense just develops, man, continues to develop. And like I said, this might be the perfect game to let Danny O'Neal rip, man, because their pass defense isn't so great. They don't have much of a pass rush. So if there's a time for him to have a big game, it's this, and they're going to need it because we have a pretty good matchup defensively against Washington State. They run the ball well, but they're not a physical running team. They do a lot of read option stuff, kind of similar to our offense. So it's not they're not going to line the ball and pound away at the center of our defense. So as long as they can contain the quarterback, who's probably their best rushing threat, contain him and let our DBs go against the receivers, our talented receivers, I think it's going to be a fun matchup. They're going to score points. It's just whether we can score enough to keep up with them.
Oh man, James bringing it. James bringing the breakdown of Washington State, dude. I like it, man. It kind of jives with what I've seen so far, and I think we're gonna get into some of that also later this week. We got a good preview article of a couple things to look at Washington State, because man, surprisingly, I mean, we haven't played them that many times in our history, which was kind of a shocker to me. I thought we had a little bit more of a history with these guys, but come to find out, we only played each other twice, and we've split 1-1, I believe.
Yeah, I can only recall 2 games. The one up there where they blew us out, and then the one here we blew them out. So
yeah,
we may have played one more time. I'm not quite sure, but those are the 2 I can recall off the top of my head.
Can you believe that last game here in San Diego State at Qualcomm at that time was the largest crowd in San Diego State football history, right? Crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
I mean, it helps.
The game. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. I had a good talk with Ken Abels earlier. He's putting together a little something as well. Just looking back on the memories of that game, I mean, boy, Hillman and Escobar, you know what I mean? They were really the driving force on that offense. I think, what was it, 42-24, something like that.
Yeah,
and it helped that there was a Sky Show that game as well. You wouldn't normally see Sky Show against a Pac-12 opponent, but yeah, it was huge.
Yeah, it was an exciting time.
All right, so let's get into a couple of the headlines of this week, man, that I got jotted down because there's a lot to talk about. Like I said, I mean, starting off the season, losing 3 of 4 was not putting anybody in a good mood. I think we were pretty cautiously optimistic, knowing it was coach's first go at kind of reestablishing what this team's identity was going to be under his new scheme and all that good stuff. So we're pulling, and now these last 2 games against Hawaii and Wyoming, 2 victories. Now let's keep things in perspective. Like what you said in the last episode, I mean, these are 2 of the bottom dwellers in the Mountain West, right? I mean, Hawaii, we saw them play Washington State, like you said, and not the best showing against the Cougars. Wyoming, they gave us a fight down to the very end, and they haven't really impressed either the rest of the way. I mean, if we're looking at the standings in the Mountain West, Hawaii's right there at 0-2 in the conference, 2-5 on the season. Wyoming's at 1-6, 1-2 in the conference. So not exactly the best competition, but a win is a win, right? There's no such thing as a bad win.
Yeah, it's funny. I was watching the UNLV Oregon State game, and they showed the Mountain West standings, and it shows, UNLV, Boise State, San Diego State tied for first place. I was like, one of these does not look like the others.
I see Colorado State right there as well. I think they got one more win out of conference, but I don't know who it was against that they're counting one more win. Of course, we've had 2 bye weeks, right? But I hear what you're saying, man. It's top heavy in the Mountain West this year. It's top heavy. UNLV, Boise State, and then it's like everybody else.
Yeah, but even like some of the perennial bottom dwellers are doing kind of good. San Jose State's shown some life. New Mexico's shown some life. Air Force is just kind of falling off the cliff. So that game doesn't look like the daunting task we thought it was before the season started. But yeah, there's a little bit of a upheaval in the Mountain West right now, so it's kind of interesting to watch. I've been watching some of the other games. Who knows, man? There's still anything can happen. This game, we should be the underdog. And you got to love being a home underdog, man, especially homecomings. It should be a pretty good crowd. We're going to need a lot of help from the crowd, man. They've got a great offense. They're going to put up some points, and this might be one of those track meet kind of games, and our defense's ability to make turnovers, takeaways happen could be the difference in the game.
It's going to need to be, man. I think we are definitely going to have to put up some points. And of course, we titled this episode as time to get explosive, right? It's time to get
Absolutely.
explosive. I mean, if you guys listen to Coach Sean Lewis's presser this week, you heard him use that word, explosive plays. And he was really, I don't want to say hammering that point, but it was a big theme of one of the great answers he gave, and is basically talking about the offense, our offense, and at the first half of the season, you're always going to take what the defense is giving you, right? So with this offense and everything they've been trying to do, going for those deep shots as they did against Wyoming, okay, they saw that was a risk, a play that they could gamble on, right? And that it could pay off, and it did. They're going to have to do a lot more of that in the second half if they want to be successful the second half of the season, because that's all that's been working really, is just going deep. Track meet, like you said.
Yeah, especially the schedule this year just happened to be pretty backloaded, especially in conference. So yeah, dude, definitely the offense is going to need to continue to improve if we're going to have a shot at getting 3 more wins, man. That's all we need to get bowl eligible. I think that's like the legitimate, honest goal that we should be shooting for. And obviously, yes, you want to try to win the championship, but in a new staff's first year, I'm not going to call that a loss if they don't go to the championship game or whatever. It's not a bad showing by the team. I think as long as they're competitive and pull off an upset like this Saturday, who knows what could happen, man.
You've been reading my articles, dude? You've been reading my articles? No, you haven't been reading my articles. James don't even watch these episodes, dude. James like the only podcaster that makes a podcast. He never watches any of these episodes. I got handed to you. Yeah, I just dropped an article today, and it basically just said, for San Diego State, their bowl season begins this Saturday against Washington State. If they want to make a bowl, it's a pretty treacherous road, pretty treacherous pathway here in the second half. I mean, a lot of tough games. And, it comes with the territory, and you got to play who's in your conference, right? But let's go through them. So Washington State, this game is no gimme at all. I mean, we're at home, and what is the line, dude? It's like a two touchdown difference.
Yeah, well, I want to say it was like 14 last time I looked, so. Yeah.
So I pretty much, okay, with this momentum that we got with the offense, hearing coach say explosive plays, we're gonna have to bring it now, right? I mean, you gotta let Danny sling the ball. Of course, we all heard Dirtball yelling, "Let that kid throw! Let that kid throw!" Thanks everybody for checking out the Tailgate Always Wins, man. That video is circulating very nicely. It's a fun trip in Wyoming, man. I can't say that enough. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to open up the playbook a little bit more. Against Washington State, it helps that the offensive line is kind of getting a little healthy, right? We're getting Mr. Bryant back at that center position, I believe. I'm looking at the 2 deep, and it looks like he's back there. Braden Bryant back there, man, in the center spot. So I know there was some turnover. We talked about it last episode. Dean Abdullah transferring out, but I'm feeling pretty good. So I gave the Aztecs a 40-60 chance of winning this game against Washington, man. It's like we got a chance. We're not favored to win. 2 touchdowns. It's a little generous, but hey, they're explosive.
Yeah, I could see how it could turn that way if the offense sputters. It could get really ugly. But if the offense continues to show improvement like they have, it could be a last possession game. To me, those are the only results I see in this game, is either a close win by the Aztecs, a close win by the Cougars, or the Cougars blow out the Aztecs. I don't see it in the realm of possibilities that San Diego State blows them out, because they're just not that kind of team yet. They don't have that they're not fully invested in the program quite yet, man. They're still, learning the ropes of the new staff, and the staff's learning the players still. So I don't see a performance like that. I mean, I'd be love to be wrong, but I don't see that as an option on Saturday. So it should be an exciting game. I hope a lot of people come out. I hope it's a good crowd, a good pro Aztec crowd. The homecoming games usually are. So I'm excited for it. I even have a few friends that don't go to a lot of games that are coming. So
Good.
It's always good to see, good to hear, good to see.
Who's that? Who's coming out, man? Who's coming out?
The Tenerian, man. The Tenerian's probably going to come with his wife. So.
All right. So what do you give the Aztecs? I give them a 40% chance to pull this thing off, man. What do you give them? Less than that or better than that?
Right around there, man. Like 35, 40, something like that. They're a 2-touchdown dog, so it's a pretty significant underdog, and especially since it's a home game. But it's football, it's matchups. It's not, you can't look at their schedule and they beat these guys, and they beat Hawaii by this many points, and San Diego State barely beat Hawaii. You can't really look at that. Like, the matchups are different, man. So
look at Jesse down here. Look at Jesse down here giving us the money line,
giving the betting odds. Yeah. So like the matchups, that we the weakest part of our defense is the physicality in the middle. And they're not the type of team that's really going to take advantage of that, based on what they've shown this year. Anything they might change it up this week, I doubt it. But so as long as they can contain that quarterback and make some plays at the back end, who knows, man?
Yeah, I like our defense, like I've said,
Yeah, the biggest thing for me to watch this game is just our offense against their defense. Our offense needs to score points. Yeah. I think the defense is going to do well enough where we'll be in the game. It's just whether the offense can come through and make them pay for mistakes that the defense forces and things of that nature.
Coach Lewis, you could generally create more explosive plays through the air than running, right? Of course. If you're able to generate plays at 20 yards or more, your percentages of scoring touchdowns, I'd say, goes up 80%. All right. Let's let it fly. Let's let it fly.
Maybe this is where he rips takes the training wheels off O'Neal, man, and lets him throw the ball over the place. We'll see.
Okay. Up next after Washington State, boy, I tell you, doesn't get much easier, man. Boise State. Now, a lot of people have been asking if we're making that road trip. We are not making that road trip.
Oh, no way, man. I've hit my quota of cow towns for the year, dude.
What? Come on. Man. Well, okay. You went to Laramie with us. You went to Laramie.
Yeah.
Let you off the hook with that one. Not gonna get too much into Boise State. I pencil that one as a loss, man. I mean, 20 to 80%. I put that as a loss. They struggled a little bit with Hawaii to start the game, but I mean, they just wear you down with Genty. He's legit Heisman candidate. Their offense is kind of sickening right now to watch. They're really dominant. The defense, they got some flaws, but I think we're getting them a little too early. Maybe if it was towards the end of the season, I'd feel a little bit better. But like I said, 20% chance. I'm not seeing that one going our way.
That's a game I was talking about, matchups with Washington State. They're a bad matchup for us because they can run the ball between the tackles and be physical. So that one, I'm never going to say they don't have a chance to win, but that one is even less likely than this game. Again, we'll talk about it next week, but anything can happen. But yeah, that's a bad matchup for us in terms of our defense against that offense.
All right. So 2 tough games right off the bat in the second half of the season. And boy, I mean, we're going to learn a lot about our bowl hopes, James, after these 2 games. You know what I mean? Hey, bowl season starts right now. It technically starts first game. I mean, it's college football. You lose one game, you're out of the college football playoffs. And I'm sorry, as a G5, there's only so many slots, man. There's only so many slots that realistically we can make it. So that's out of the running. But to get a bowl game, that's the goal, I think. Of course, winning the Mountain West, but the goal, you want to get that bowl game. Nine. What was it? 9 straight bowl games in a row we had, or was it more than that? Was it 12 or something like that? I think it was 12.
Yeah, it was from 2010 until the COVID year.
2022. Yeah.
Yeah. The COVID year, I guess if you don't count that, yeah. So
from the Poinsettia Bowl to the Hawaii Bowl. Man, that was a nice stretch. I mean, kind of unprecedented, like I was saying in the article, going from Brady Hoke, Rocky Long, Brady Hoke, and last year we missed a bowl game for the first time in forever, and it just had to make the change, right? So to get back in that bowl game, Washington State, Boise State, dude, that's not going to be easy. It's going to set us up for what's coming down the road, and that's New Mexico. Now, New Mexico beat Utah State on the road this past Saturday. Utah State's pretty horrible. They're next to last in front of Air Force. I mean, they're 1-6, 0-3 in the conference. I like to say they have like a great value Ashton Genty running back. He looks similar body build, he's got the hair, like he runs similar, but he's just that Walmart brand of running back. I couldn't believe New Mexico beat him.
The Wish version of Ashton Genty.
They were looking good for a stretch.
That was a surprising win. New Mexico's quarterback looks pretty decent. He's a guy that can run, and he's a decent passer. And Mendenhall's a good defensive coach, but they haven't played much defense this year. So, yeah, dude, that's a game where before the season started, you could almost chalk it up as a win. But I think that's going to be a tough game. We should be favored. We'll see, depending on what happens these next 2 games. But I like our chances in that game.
I said the winner of New Mexico San Diego State should be like a rivalry game, since it's like the Rocky Long Bowl. Should be a bowl game. The winner gets a IROC. Gets an IROC Camaro with his face painted on the side.
Like the old like the Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit, man, except for the Firebird, it's Rocky Long's face.
I put that at 70% win, 70-30 win, Aztecs over the Lobos.
I'd put it at like 60-40. It's going to be a tough game, man.
Yeah, I don't want to give them that much credit, but I feel you. I feel you on that one, dude. And then next after that one is UNLV at UNLV, dude. The last tough game left in the season, as far as, I mean, they're a contender. They were in the championship game last year against Boise. I think that's probably going to be the matchup again. And they actually play each other this Friday night, dude. That's going to be a game. Boise,
yeah, it's going to be a fun game to watch.
Yeah. What do you think on that one, man? Because I made a note. Last year we talked about UNLV's offensive coordinator, Brennan Marion. He's got that go-go offense, right? It's kind of a similar brand tagline, the Aztec fast, the go-go. They like to run it fast, like to spread you out, a lot of little gadgets. And San Diego State interviewed him. He was like the first big notable interview that they had, other than our coach up there in Nebraska. But Brendan Marion, dude, this is gonna be his first chance playing the Aztecs after we interviewed him, or really at all, I think. So that's gonna be interesting, man. I think there might be a little extra juice in that for him, knowing that we passed and said, no, you're not ready yet.
I know if it was me, I'd be juiced for it. But that's another one, man. It's a bad matchup for our defense, because they do that go-go stuff. They do a lot of option stuff, but they can get physical and just run it down your throat. And we haven't proven that we can stop that this year yet. So that's another scary game along the lines of Boise.
And their defense looks nice too, man. Their defense plays with their hair on fire. That's why I give them really good odds at beating Boise this Friday. I'm not saying they will. Where is that game, by the way? Anyways, dude, I'm not sure if that's in Boise. I want to
say it's in Boise.
But
game, I could be wrong.
Oh, I think that might be in Vegas. Let me see. I'm checking that out right now. because, man, that is going to be a good one. Yeah. That's in Vegas. That's at Allegiant.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's going to be fun, man. That's going to be fun.
That place might be rocking, man.
I mean, if they're not rocking for that game, I don't want them in the Pac-12. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what they're doing already to begin with, the Rebels. Like, why are you not jumping ship? If you can't get excited for that game, I don't want you guys to come anyway.
Yeah, I wish I was going to be in town Friday, man. I'd say let's go watch that somewhere. That's going to be a fun game to watch.
Oh, man. You taking off? You going back to the desert?
Yeah, I got to go take care of some stuff. I'll be back for the game Saturday, though.
I give our odds at 30% against UNLV. That's it's a little better than against Boise, but not by much. But hey, we'll see, man. We'll see. By that point in time, maybe the team will be a little more well-rounded.
By that game, we'll know a lot more about our team because we'll have had two really tough games and one pretty tough game in between. So. Yeah. We'll know by then, like what kind of game we should expect, and we'll be. So, what do I have it as?
Oh yeah, definitely. We'll be out there in Vegas. I'm not missing that one. Make sure you guys all find us. We'll have some meeting points before the game, I'm sure.
So that would put us, going by your odds, that would put us at 4-5, right?
4-5. I think I had
4-6. Excuse me, 4-6.
Yeah, I think that'd be at 4-6 because I don't have us beating Washington State, though. I think we can. And if we beat Washington State this Saturday, I mean, I think that changes a lot of things. That changes the perspective on the rest of the season, really. I mean, the fan base should really get behind this Aztecs team if they could pull this one off. On homecoming, it's going to be a nice crowd. I know there's some tickets available still, but it's going to be a nice, healthy crowd this weekend. Everybody comes out on homecoming. So if they could put up good in front of all the alums and everything, man, that go a long ways. But then we finished the year off with 2 gimmies. Like, come on, there's no gimme in football. I get it. There's no gimme in football. But at Utah State, now that's what makes that game a little troublesome because you're playing in Logan in the end of November. Wintertime, right? Wintertime comes early in Utah, man. So that's not going to be very fun. But they got to make it fun. I remember that championship team, the Aztecs, played Utah State out there with Pumphrey. I mean, it was raining sideways. That was not a pretty game to play in, I'm sure. But they made it fun. They embraced it. They went out there and they just smashed. It's like playing out there in the mud. You know what I mean? You just gotta embrace it. They went out there and smashed on every facet of the game. So Utah State, we owe these guys. We owe these guys in football since the last we played them. So I really hope no matter what, they're motivated to get that win, regardless of what the record is. We have met 4-6 coming into that point. So, man, if we can get that win.
If that's the case, it's pretty much a must win, man. So that doesn't motivate you to play.
Then they got Air Force to finish the season off at home. Now, 2 years ago, we played Air Force to finish the season off at home, and we got bounced 13-3. It was a really odd game. I didn't even go to that game. I was hurting. I hurt my leg. I went home. Didn't even go to the game, dude. And then last season was just an absolute joke. I mean, on the road, I get it. Air Force was really good last year, but we got bounced 49-10. And I remember we were having a watch party watching that game. That was rough. But I don't know what happened to Air Force this year, man. I really can't account for what the turnaround or what happened. They crashed the jet, dude, to use a bad analogy, but they look terrible.
Yeah, man. I haven't watched Air Force this year, so I don't know what happened. I haven't really paid attention. But I know you usually want to play them towards the end of the year anyway. Like we played them last year towards the beginning of the season. And they're almost every year, it seems like they're a different team in the second half of the season because those kids, man, they're doing so much off the field. I think they just kind of get worn down by their demands that their school life has on them. And at this point, I think they're going to be more worried about like their job protecting our nation than playing football by the time we play them at the end of the year. So that's one you could almost chalk up as a win. And you know me, I don't like to do that, but I think we're going to just happen to get them at the right time, and we should be fully peaked by then. Hopefully it'll be the best that San Diego State can be this season. So I feel really good about that game. That's probably the one I feel the best about on the rest of the schedule.
By that game against Air Force, over or under Trey White having 20 sacks?
I'm going to say...
That's a realistic question, man. That's a realistic question. Because,
yeah.
Boy, I'm telling you.
I'm going to say under. Because I think he'll have like 16 or 17, something like that. Sacks, they come in bunches, and, we're playing a running team in Boise, and then, this weekend he may get some stats. And then New Mexico's kind of a running team too. So I don't think it's going to be a lot lower opportunity rate he's going to have to get sacks. So who knows, man? He could get 5 this weekend. You never know, man. But yeah, I'm going to say under. That's my guess.
I like this quote in the UT, Kurt Kenny's article. He says, "I'm worried about my goals." He said, "My goal this season was 10 sacks. I put it down on my whiteboard." He said, "I already passed that, so now my goal is 20. Gotta love it, man. He's setting the bar high, and he's already accomplished it. But you make some excellent points, James. I mean, the style of play these teams were going to face against. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself, man. And then you talk about New Mexico, you're looking at Air Force to end the year. There's not going to be many opportunities. If you're coming up against Air Force to finish the season, and let's say he's at like 18, and you need 2 sacks to get to that 20, like, that's going to be hard to come by, man. You're going to have to put him out there on every opportunity you get. I don't know. That's going to be difficult, but he's a force. He's a force.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him try it, man. I hope he hits it, and it'll be fun to watch. I hope he has a huge game Saturday, man. That's all I care about right now.
Well, Mike Douglas set the SDSU record with 21 sacks in 76. And I don't know if you saw that tweet I put out there, that poster, dude. I found it at my dad's house. He had that poster from 1977. Mike Douglas is there on that poster. 21 sacks, still a record. So we'll see. We'll see if Trey can get that. I don't know. We'll see.
It'll be fun watching.
Okay, man. What else, man? What else we need to address? Because the season there, if everything goes to how I'm calling it, they're gonna end at 6-6 because there can't be any way that they lose to Air Force this year. If they lose to Air Force, oh boy, at home to finish the year with a bowl eligibility on the line, I put us at 80% to win that game. But it's all about stopping the dive, right? Fullback dive. You got to, like Rocky Long says, you got to take that fullback out. 6-6, man.
I had a coach who said, dive and discipline. That's how you beat triple option teams. So yeah, man, I'm a little worried about the discipline part with our defense, but I'm not too worried about the dive. I know I talked about, they're susceptible to the running game of the middle, the physical running game, but I just think Air Force is going to be cooked by then. So I like our chances. I think I would even go as far as like 90%. I feel about that game.
Mm-hmm. I think they're going to step it up, man. I mean, Trey White's not the only guy on the defensive line. You guys got guys like Krishna Clay, who I know you were pointing out the other week against Wyoming, Marlon Lewis. They're going to have to prepare for that game. So
Ryan Henderson,
have them ready.
Yeah, I really like Ryan Henderson too. He's a solid player.
Yeah, he came up big in that game against Wyoming. Absolutely. So 6-6, man. I took a look at the whole schedule. That's what I came up to. I think that's what kind of the obvious, just looking at the numbers at the end of the year, that's what you figure it's going to be. But nothing ever happens to plan, right? I mean, nobody saw us winning or losing some of these games. So even at 6-6, James, that might be bowl eligible. They still may not get that invite.
They should, especially with the college football playoff taking up some of the bowl eligible teams this year, I think there's a pretty good chance that 6-6. I'm not going to say 100%, but it's pretty close to 100% that they'll go to a bowl game with that record.
Especially if boys are UNLV, like you said, can get that playoff appearance. Then we're looking at there's 5 bowl tie-ins, right? The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. That's right. That's right. Presented by Gin and Juice.
I want to go to that one now. When it was the Barstool Bowl, I wanted no part of it, but now there's a Snoop Dogg Bowl. I want to go.
Oh snap! Oh snap! Oh yeah. What's going on? What breaking news? What breaking news? What's going on over here? Jesse agrees with James. I don't know what breaking news you're talking about, but break it. Break it
in the chat, Jesse.
Arizona Bowl. What do we got?
News,
what do we
bro.
got?
Sad news. R.I.P.
Well, El Toro. Fernando Valenzuela passed away. Yeah, I saw he was looking very frail the other week at the Dodger game. He was once a Padre as well, El Toro. Rest in peace. Legend of Major League Baseball, Mexico, and the United States, especially here in Southern California. I can't wait for somebody to make a movie of his life. Fernando Valenzuela. For you guys who don't know Fernando Valenzuela, Fernando Mania, ask your parents, ask your grandparents.
That was insane, man. I was a little kid, but it was still like the hangover of Fernando Valenzuela was there when I was growing up in Southern California, bro.
Okay, all right. They need to make a movie of his life, man, his journey to the United States and all that stuff, and the instant fame, right? I mean, just incredible. Ask your tios and compas. That's right. That's right. There was a tremendous, I think it was like 30 for 30 on him, or ESPN did a documentary on him, Fernando Mania. It's amazing, but I wish somebody would make a movie on that, and they can show how the Dodgers kicked out all the Mexicans up there in Chavez Ravine to build their.
Oh yeah, don't get me started on that, man.
Nothing but Dodger hate on this side, and I got Mike Minyarez. We had him on the pod before we left for Wyoming and before the Dodgers beat the Padres. Yeah, we were watching that in the RV. Joe says Yankees or Dodgers. Oh man, come on, dude.
I'm rooting for a meteor to strike one of the stadiums, bro. That's what I'm rooting for.
His way.
That's legit cool. But I'm the Yankees all the way, man. Yankees all the way. I can't do it with the Dodgers. Can't do it with the Doyers. Can't do it.
I don't know. I can't decide which one's worse, man. The Yankees winning another one or the Dodgers. I think I'm probably going to have to go with the Yankees too, just so I can continue to talk trash about the Dodgers' last World Series, man. How it's an asterisk World Series, dude. I love that. That gets under their skin so bad, dude.
They got to put one on this year if they end up winning it, just because Ohtani, dude, he's probably coming up big on his bets. I love that shirt. That shirt Breaking Team makes it. I think it says Ohtani bets 24. It's like political sign for them, but then also Ohtani bets. Right? It's very clever. Very clever.
Yeah, it works on multiple levels, man. Mookie bets and then Ohtani bets.
Yeah. Stay out of my text line, Minyarez. I don't want to receive any more. Okay. Sidebar over. Back to Aztecs football. So we have the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, which I don't want to go to. I don't want to go to Boise in the wintertime for that. Of course, no. Then we got the Hawaii Bowl. That's against a Conference USA opponent. We played that 2 years ago against Middle Tennessee State.
Our guys just went to Hawaii, though, so I don't see them selecting San Diego State if they're available.
Yeah.
They normally don't pick a team if they went there that year.
No. Hawaii came here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. My bad, man. I'm tripping. Yeah.
I want to make that return. I want to make that return road trip next year, so I could hold off on a bowl game in Hawaii if that's the option. But then we got the New Mexico Bowl. I don't even know what their sponsor is, but it's Isleta. I don't know.
Is it like Gildan, I think?
No, it's not. It's like Isleta. I don't know what that is. Maybe an acronym for something. But anyways, New Mexico Bowl. And then you got the LA Bowl, which usually would go to the conference champion, and they would play a Pac-12 team. But since the Pac-12 is basically Washington State and Oregon State for the time being, I don't know what's going to happen with that LA Bowl.
Yeah, so that's going to be weird, dude, because I think
it's hosted by Gronk. It's hosted by Gronk. So
I think Oregon State and Washington State have played are going to play like all the contenders in the conference. So they don't normally like to do rematches in bowl games. So that'll be interesting to see how they work that out.
Well, LA Bowl would be good if we can pull off some wins. I think that'll be an attractive one, right? So that probably would go to like the runner up, whoever doesn't make the conference, the playoffs, if right, one of the two were to be selected. And then I was checking out some research, and it said the conference is guaranteed to have 6 bowl slots during the bowl season until 2026. The Mountain West also has a spot with the guaranteed rate bowl, and that bowl, don't ask me how, is lined up to play against a Big 10 or a Big 12 if needed, right? Kind of in parentheses. So, I mean, that guaranteed rate bowl, I mean, that sounds amazing if you can get an opponent in the Big 10 or Big 12. Now, of course, those are where some of the Pac-12, former Pac-12 teams headed off to. So most likely would probably be just like a replacement for that LA Bowl matchup, right? Something of that sort, I would think. So,
and there's a lot of trading that goes on too. Usually, the bowls, because most of them are owned by ESPN, they'll move matchups around. They'll trade teams out to different bowls to get better matchups. So it's not necessarily for sure that we'd play in a Mountain West affiliated bowl. But if I given the choice out of the Mountain West bowls, my number one is probably the Snoop Dogg Bowl. I know LA might be a better matchup, but I don't know what's going to go on with that Pac-12 stuff. But I think the Snoop Dogg Bowl, Arizona's nice in December. It's not a far trip for Aztec fans. I think that's probably like the ideal bowl besides, the Champion Bowl or the LA Bowl if we have a really good opponent, or that guaranteed rate bowl if we can get into that against a Big 10 or Big 12 team. I think that's probably like the one I'm eyeing right now.
So say it one more time so everybody can hear you. James is calling which bowl?
The Snoop Dogg Bowl. Sponsored by Gin and Juice.
and Juice. Hey, I'd side with that one too. I think it'd be a fun bowl game. Probably be a little different. They'll probably have some different things going on, some different, entertainment going on. Are we traveling to said named bowl game? I think that, like you said, man, that's an easy enough one to get to in December. We've been to Tucson already for that one game. It's outdoor. It's like aluminum bleachers for the most part, so I mean it might be a little chilly, but it's still Arizona. Either that one or the LA Bowl presented by Gronk, so I could take the van up there. We can cruise up there, cruise up there and tailgate up at the LA Bowl presented by Gronk. I don't know what that would entail, but either one of those two, I mean, those are the most desirable runs, right? Now, if we skate in by 6-6 and we get an invite, it's most likely not going to be those. It's going to be Potato Bowl. It's going to be New Mexico Bowl. Probably those.
I think unless they've changed it, I think the Arizona Bowl has like one of the second to last pick or something like that.
I think they might have changed it. I don't think there's any real locked in
pecking order anymore.
Pecking order. I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Normally the Bulls have a pecking order and they get to choose. They have, not necessarily the standings, but the primary bowl partner gets to choose whoever they want in the secondary and so on and so forth. And I recall that the Arizona Bowl used to be like the second to the last or the last. So I don't know if they've changed it again. But so it's probably very likely that if we end up at 6-6, it's very likely we could end up in the Arizona Bowl.
That would be that'd be a preference of mine. That'd be a preference of mine for
now, here's the big question. Would you take the van to the Arizona Bowl?
The big question. Everybody wants to know.
It's like a 6-hour drive, man. You think old girl could make it?
Maybe with many stops along the ways. I think we pace ourselves. I took that thing in for a smog check this week, dude. I can't believe it passed.
Oh man, that's impressive, dude.
That thing was stinky, bro. That thing was so stinky. And it's a beast. It's a beast. It's surviving, you know. And it helps that it helps that the smog worker there, his last name was Ortiz as well. I'm like, hey, we are Ortiz brothers.
Hey,
compa. I'm Mexican, you're Filipino. It's all good, bro. We're Ortiz. It's all good. Yeah, that's what's up. National City, baby.
I think if you could just get through the mountains, if you get over that grade, I think you're good, man, because the rest of it's pretty much flat all the way, dude. So just getting up that grade would be that'd be a lot of work for old girl to make it up that grade. But once we got up there, I think we're home free, man.
I think it could happen, man. So I'm pulling for that. Man. All right, James, how are we feeling, man? How are we feeling coming in towards the hour mark? I want to thank all you guys for joining us. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Doesn't cost you a thing. Takes no effort to follow, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. We've been at this for several years now, James, and man, it's every year is like a year unlike any other, man. It really is different every single season. And now with this year,
I'm pumped for Saturday, man. We're breaking out the speakers for sure. So make sure you leave some room in the van for those things. We're gonna have some good music. We'll have some good time Saturday.
All right. You guys heard it. What do we got here? Could be wrong, but I think the former Pac-12 still have their old bowl tie-ins for now. So if you're talking about the LA Bowl or the Pac-12, it could be Oregon State or Washington State in that bowl matchup. We played both of them, so that might be a good opportunity to defer that one or not be selected if we are bowl eligible for sure.
I'm not sure if they do because they have like 8 tie-ins. They had like 8 tie-ins, and they had a tie-in with the Rose Bowl, and I doubt Oregon State and Washington State are going to play in the Rose Bowl. But I don't know. To be honest, I haven't really paid that much attention to it because once it didn't go down for us, I stopped paying attention to the Pac-12 pretty much until the recent announcement. But that's actually something I might look into this week to see what I can figure out, and I'll get back to you next week about it.
The Rose Bowl, which is now part of the college football playoff rotation, is no longer tied to the Pac-12, of course, right? And the 6 Pac-12 bowl tie-ins are the Alamo Bowl, Holiday Bowl, Las Vegas Bowl, Tony the Tiger's Sun Bowl, Los Angeles Bowl, and the Independence Bowl. So yeah, you are right. They have a lot of tie-ins. It's going to be weird how they work that all out with Washington State and Oregon State. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
So it sounds like there's, what'd you just name off? Like 6, 7 bowls?
6 bowls. 6 bowls.
And there's only 2 teams in the Pac-12, obviously, and they don't have enough teams to those tie-ins, so those tie-ins are wide open. It sounds like I don't know. You have to go to each bowl's website to find out what their tie-in is for this year.
Now I'm getting this information from the sunbowl.org, and it says the Alamo Bowl has the first pick from the Big 12 and Pac-12 after the college football playoff. So it will be able to select any Pac-12 legacy school or Oregon State, Washington State, regardless of record, if the teams are bowl eligible. That's a trip. The Alamo Bowl, they got the first pick.
And it said
interesting.
Pac-12 legacy team. Like, I don't know how that's going to work. You know, I don't know. We'll see, man. It's I'll have to do some research into that.
I mean, the option is open. It's saying it'll be able to select any Pac-12 legacy school or Oregon State, Washington State. So any of the Pac-12 former Pac-12 teams.
Yeah.
Plus, if they have first pick, they're likely not going to pick Oregon State, Washington State, though.
Yeah, no, I just, that's weird how the Big Ten would allow that to happen and the Big 12 would allow that to happen. That's weird.
Yeah. At the end of the day, these bowl games are all money for the networks, right?
Yeah. No, it's good for the communities too, because, you know, they fill up hotels and get people to travel these places that normally wouldn't get travel in December, you know, a lot of these, especially these cold weather places. I know that's why the holiday was invented, right? So they could sell hotel rooms in December when there's not a lot of people coming to San Diego.
Yeah, that's true. Keep spending your money here. Keep spending your money here. And that holiday bowl will be at Snapdragon soon.
Oh yeah, I might actually go now at Snapdragon Stadium.
Yeah, really. You know, if anybody's listening to this, I'm glad we're getting the Holiday Bowl back at Snapdragon, or back in Mission Valley, as I would say, but at Snapdragon coming up in the near future. I mean, what is it going to take, James? We just came from Wyoming, and every time they kicked the ball off to begin the game or begin the half, or when Wyoming scored a touchdown, they had this huge cannon that went off, dude. I saw Dan jump out of his boots at least 2 times, dude. I'd never seen Dan jump that high, you know, ever in his life, dude. And that thing was loud, bro. That cannon was like straight out of the Civil War, bro. That thing was straight out of the Wild West. Just bam. What is it going to take to get that cannon back at Mission Valley as well? Every time the Aztecs scored a touchdown, there used to be a cannon that went off. Or is that being replaced by the light show that we're going to see at the end of the third quarter in this homecoming game, dude?
I don't know. I think they've replaced it with those fireworks. I think that's the thing now, is the fireworks go off. We just haven't seen a whole lot of touchdowns this year, so we haven't seen many at home. So, yeah, I'm cool with fireworks instead of a cannon. I don't need a cannon. I don't think Dan's heart could handle a cannon. After seeing his reaction in Laramie.
In the words of one Rockford Long, don't be soft. Don't be soft. Come on. I want that cannon back. I don't care what Dan says. I want that cannon. Give me back my cannon. And if they got fireworks, dude, why don't we have a sky show anymore? What's going on with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's a KGB thing, the decision they made. I don't know, dude.
I tell you, what is going on? The history and tradition, folks. That's what it's about. Got to bring that back. Got to bring that back to Aztec football. You know, this game this Saturday is going to be a fun one. It's homecoming. Everybody comes out for homecoming, so got to put your best foot forward in the production side of the game. Of course, you want that win. Nothing replaces a win. I'm interested to see. I'm eager. I'm excited. I want to see what kind of traditions maybe we haven't seen in a while show up for homecoming, right? I got this old school shirt on. I hope one day they can bring back maybe some Coryell era throwback unis, helmets, whatever you got to do for that homecoming game, right? Got to do something special. Got to get the community back in. But no cannon. Okay. All right.
Hey, I like Jesse's comment, man. Everybody wear a costume. It's Halloween weekend, man. You got to wear a costume to the game Saturday.
There we go.
I know.
Halloween
are you wearing one?
weekend,
You better be wearing
homecoming.
one, bro.
I'll put something together. I don't know what I'm gonna be. I mean, maybe a vampire cowboy, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I gotta put some thought into it. Well, what do you guys think I should be? Maybe I should leave that in the comments, guys. What do you think? What do you think we should dress up as? James, you got your costume already picked out, right?
Yeah, dude. I got it all pretty much ready.
Okay. Well, as Jesse says, we are the Yellow Lot Warriors. We'll be at parking spot 69 through 65. And Yeah. Oh man, Eric Butler, super safety number 6. I don't know if I could dress up as Butler. I don't know if I could dress up as him for Halloween, bro. I don't know if I could pull that one off. I don't have a
He doesn't
six-pack.
have that kind of build. You'd have to get some supplements to get built like Eric.
Oh man, get my amino acids up. Get my aminos. But you guys are all welcome to join us this Saturday, game time. I want to say 7:30. We'll be out there tailgating many hours beforehand.
I'm
Aztecs,
saying 2:30. That's my call.
2:30 to start.
Yeah, you better be ready.
Oh boy. It's homecoming. This is a special game. We got to show out. Yeah, I'll bring my cape. I don't know. I'll have a six-pack. I'll have a six-pack, but it won't be on me. We're excited for this game, guys. Hopefully you guys are too. Winners of their last 2, these Aztecs are improving before our eyes. We hope you guys are there to see it. Make sure you get your tickets at goaztecs.com or wherever you get your tickets at. Join us out there at the Yellow Lot. Like we said, parking spots number 69 through, I believe, 65 as well. Will be a lot going on there at the what are they calling that thing? At the park, at the river park. It's the block party, right? The block party.
Yeah, the block party.
Block party, yeah. So Aztecs, hey, they're 14 and a half, I think, last I checked, underdogs. So they're gonna need all the support they can get. And second half of the season, it's time to get explosive, James. You ready?
Oh, I'm ready, man. Take those training wheels off, man. I want to see like 40 pass attempts Saturday.
40, you hear it? You heard it here first. 40 pass attempts.
Man, if 2013 James would hear me right now, he'd slap me.
Were you the one telling Bob Toledo to run the ball?
We had a little feud going on on the radio show, man. He was calling me these idiot fans and
well, not much has changed. Just a couple microphones, and a YouTube channel.
I'm still an idiot fan, but I'm still here and he's not. So I live, bitch.
All right, everybody. Want to thank you guys for joining. Whether you're late to the party or not, we thank you guys for your support. Sons of Montezuma.com. Check out for a new episode from the Hijos de Montezuma. They had some fun talking Aztec sports in Espanol. Make sure you guys check that out, coming out tomorrow, hopefully. Another episode of the Aztec Gamers where our guys play EA college football every week, the matchup of what it's going to be, and they talk some Aztec sports as well. A lot of fun. I know I told my boy Kai he was at the volleyball game tonight. I'm gonna have to get him in maybe tomorrow or Thursday, but we'll have a report from Kai on the volleyball game. They're doing very well. Props to our ladies on the volleyball team. And of course, we'll have a 3 keys to victory with one of our good friends, Bryant. You guys know him on Twitter. We'll get that going as well as we look into Washington State. Big game, guys, is going to determine a lot of the future of the rest of this season. Hope you guys make it down there to Snapdragon. And Haka is ready. Wings and beer is going to be ready. Going to be some cake and ice cream maybe. And hopefully a dub. James?
Let's do it.
Sons of Montezuma.com. K5 James, Mateo San Diego signing off. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you guys on Saturday and tomorrow on YouTube again. See y'all.
Yeah. Go Aztecs.